Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Let me know if audio is all good and then we'll get started here. Awesome. Awesome guys. Well, yeah, today is probably a little bit of a better environment than the last few streams. I feel like the last 3 streams I've done, it's been a pretty boring time, and 3 weeks ago it was mid dump actually. So yeah, not too much to cover today, but obviously wanted to continue the weekly streams here. Hopefully next week and the weeks after we have a lot more to cover. As usual, feel free to throw in any questions. I'll be taking a look at the chat throughout the stream. I'm going to mainly just go over, basically the majors, kind of look at the trade that I took on Bitcoin 2 days ago, and Just kind of giving my original thoughts of what I felt and what I saw after we had that liquidation event. What was it, almost 3 weeks ago? So should be a good one. Maybe it won't extend past an hour and a half like usual, but we'll just keep rolling with it and see what happens. So I want to start off by saying that you know, basically the open interest is one of the best indicators of kind of over leveraged positions and just general analysis based on the liquidations. And I'm sure some of you guys saw that, we basically had the largest liquidation event ever in history. And when that happens, what happens is people like to say that a liquidation is a transfer of wealth from those that are not wealthy enough to just trade spot. And I know that's a little bit of a cliche thing to say, but essentially people that trade leverage, and there's of course people that have, lots of bankroll that also trade leverage, but essentially liquidations people have believed are designed. And when I say designed, that's because market makers play a large role in these massive liquidation events because they pull liquidity and there's not enough liquidity on the buy side of the book to absorb that sell pressure. And what happens is that they basically fill their bags at those wick lows, and they usually place limit orders down there and whatnot. And if we just go back and look, I'm not sure if Coinalyze, this is I only use this because I'm able to look at the global open interest. Otherwise, I use Velo for all type of derivatives data. Let's see if they have aggregated liquidations here. Yeah, they should, even though this is probably not going to display everything because, it's not going to display everything because the API limits that Bybit and Binance had. But essentially, we still can pull the same type of, data, what I'm looking for here. So if we look back, we unfortunately don't have open interest data, but this was one of the largest liquidation events in crypto history, obviously, when it happened. This was the COVID collapse. And of course, we dropped 50%. And throughout this entire range, which is what I believe that we're probably in right now, everybody's emotions were just going crazy. People thought it was over. People thought the bull run was starting. Any little time we popped up, greed came through. Any little time we popped down, a bunch of fear came through. And that's usual to happen after these type of events. And, we had that liquidation event. We had this liquidation event, which we can see open interest dropped. What was this? About 11 billion on the altcoins. And this, of course, was not over yet. A lot of coins went a lot higher throughout this. Many coins did peak here back in this 2021 run in April, May. But a lot of the coins did go on another leg. And of course, once this happened, that was the Pico low. Sure, we tapped it twice, but that was the low, and many coins went much higher after that. And then obviously the main other one was the FTX collapse. When this happened, people thought it was actually over. If you guys were around, let me know in the comments. I'm sure you guys remember everybody was calling for 12K. Everybody thought it was over. And what happened? That was actually the bottom. That was the low. And of course, a lot of spot bags were filled up there. And if we just pop over to the order book here, something I showed last time, look at how many spot buys were sitting in the book when this happened. There was an enormous amount of spot buys, about 20,000 Bitcoin from 10K to about 15K. So, of course, we had that massive liquidation. Many people thought that this was actually the bottom for the cycle. And of course, FTX came through and this happened. And what happened? Everybody filled their spot bags way down here. And sure enough, that was the start of the run. So if we go back to right now, we could see that we just had something very similar happen. We had basically since the top here, we had, what was this, about $17 billion taken out of levered longs. Or sorry, 33 billion. It was 17 billion, just, about 17 billion on the dump that we had on February 1st. So what I'm trying to get at here is, when we have these large liquidation events, I know that people can take them at face value and just say, well, a bunch of people got taken out. But there's more to it. A bunch of people got taken out, and the books now are very clean. There's not a massive amount of, positioning built up anymore. And what happens usually? That often marks a low. So, I'm going to continue to go with the stance that on many of these altcoins, once we dive in the charts, you guys will see, I believe that the low is in for a lot of those altcoins, because if not, historically speaking, we've never went lower without being in a bear market. I hope that makes sense. When we look at Ethereum, for example, Ethereum has a wick to, what was it, 2,200, something very low, 2,000. And, if Ethereum breaks that low, it's definitely in a bear market. And I just don't believe that we're in that type of environment just yet. So I just wanted to start off by saying that I still believe after seeing that liquidation event, it's only historically told us that markets do eventually move higher. And if they don't move higher, we're in for a very prolonged bear trend. And that could just be 6 months, but still, all of us that are here almost every day, for 6 months, we better tuck her down and start doing some shorter term trading if we want to stay busy. That's the type of stuff that, you need to approach the market with. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about that, throw it in the chat. I just wanted to start off by saying that we see these liquidation events, we see all of these positions taken out. Almost all the positions that were put on since the election were basically taken out. That's the way you can look at this. About $60 billion worth of levered longs and shorts. Now we're down to 30. So we basically cut ourselves in half. Bitcoin still looks like this, which is absolutely incredible. And sure enough, if we look back in history, these have only led to higher prices, especially with the time we are in whatever cycle we may look at. This is still, a strong point in the cycle. And that's where I wanted to move on to this chart right here. See if the dark mode looks a little bit better here. But yeah, basically, you guys have probably seen me look at this chart before. We're in no type of environment where, in my opinion, we're in like any type of parabolic, overextended mode. Sure, on some shorter time frames, maybe a daily or a weekly, we could say that, maybe some things are overextended, of course. But for the most part, if we look back in history, Bitcoin usually starts off its bull runs with about a 0 to about 5% increase off of its 200-week moving average. We could see this right here. We could see that, see this right here. We could also see this entire run has kept in the blue area. And what does that mean? That means that this has been a very stable uptrend. And, this to me means that Bitcoin still has some room to go. It 100% has some room to go. And, if you look at the environment we're in with the DXY higher than it was, basically when the cycle started, we've never seen that. We see interest rates the highest we've ever seen in a crypto bull cycle. I think the fact that Bitcoin has even reached 100K in this environment shows its strength. We haven't had that massive money printing like we saw in 2021. We haven't had the inflation like we saw back then as well, which is going to automatically revalue Bitcoin and just general assets higher. So I just want to say that, on a broad stance, I don't think that this market is like super overheated for years, like some people may believe. There's very few, but I see some people that believe that, the top's in for a long, long time. And that may be that may be the truth, but none of the analysis I see really tells me that. So yeah, that's really what I wanted to cover at first, just to show that historically, when we see these wipeouts, this means we go higher. And if we don't go higher, it means we're in some type of prolonged bear trend. And then if we look here, it's like if Bitcoin had like these green marks right here, or even pink, I would say, yeah, Bitcoin is super overextended, but we really don't have that environment right now. So I think it's really something we need to keep in the back of our mind. And if you guys have joined my last few streams, I've kind of echoed the same type of concept. Even if we needed to see the 85K run, I still didn't believe that broke anything. Altcoins aside, most of them are in the shredder, but Bitcoin is obviously going to be the main thing that runs this market. So that's what we need to keep our attention on. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about any of that, let me know as usual. Let's pop over here to the charts. I wanted to start by saying, basically, when I was doing a stream with Cade from Wolf Crypto, exactly when this was happening here. And, that day and the day before, I presented the idea that this was either going to be a massive breakdown or this was going to be a deviation. And of course, that was a very clean deviation. And what I gave basically a very clean setup that I love to play. And I said, once it reclaims, I'll probably post the clip here either today or tomorrow. But once it reclaims the breakdown level, which in this sense was the election VWAP. I mean, the election VWAP is like a gift from the gods. I posted about this yesterday. I mean, I cannot believe how many times Bitcoin has held this level. It's truly it's crazy. Like it's been the most amount of free longs I've ever seen in my life. Granted, we've had big wicks below. We've really closed all big levels above. So, what happened here is when we retested this and then we got another retest, that's where I entered my long. Exactly where I said was, exactly the scenario that I said. And if anyone's wondering, this is my favorite setup in all of crypto. I don't talk too much about my, nitty gritty type setups, but a deviation and a reclaim and a retest, for all of you guys that are watching, this is one of the most powerful setups in all of crypto. I think I might have had, let's see if I still have this over here on OKX. Basically made, no, I deleted it. But essentially what it was is I went through and I said every single bottom has been marked with a deviation. We could even start back with this low right here. So if we see this right here, what happens? We have a level, we break down, we deviate, we retest it, we go higher, right? Exact same thing happened right here. We have a level right here. We could say that that's the level. We could say that's the level. We break down, we deviate it, we come up, we reclaim, we go higher. Exact same thing down here. This is a shorter term one, but bam, we have a level, we deviate it, reclaim, we go higher. And it's funny, I keep saying the same thing, but it's true. And even in this even in this little consolidation phase right here, breakdown, deviation, reclaim, there's your entry, we go higher. Exact same thing right here during the ETF launch. We could see breakdown, clear support, deviate it, come up, we have some retests, we go higher. And then of course, exact same thing again right here. You guys probably see the pattern here. We could even say right here, a larger term one, bam, 2 deviations, 3 deviations. Every single one was a reclaim and we went higher. We had the exact thing right here. I took that long. This was kind of one, not as clean. And then this was the cleanest one, of course. So we go back to what I was looking at there. Where was that? Maybe it was on this chart. That was on this chart. This is like the perfect trade I've ever seen. And of course, right now, I think this might have already hit my TP. My TP is, I think, 99. We'll see if bulls can push us up there, but the trade already played out perfect. And I shared the trade 2 days in advance. I told you guys when the trade presented itself, and I posted right here yesterday when the entry was presenting itself. So yeah, it's a really powerful thing. Let me know if you guys have questions about that. Let me see if I could catch up with the chat here. Kate said, imagine not joining Dom's free Telegram. Yeah, if you guys saw, I did create a Telegram. Essentially, the intention with that is a lot of times I'm looking at a bunch of stuff, but I don't want to make posts about it. And there's so many times where I'm like, doing my own analysis, and I'd love just to like spurt out a bunch of stuff, but I like to keep my feed clean on Twitter or on X, But for the most part, you guys know I don't really retweet that much stuff. I don't really cloud up the feed. Really just, pure for people that have my notifications on. You guys get the pure raw type of good content, 5 to 10 tweets a day. So if you don't join the Telegram, you're probably going to miss out on some more nitty gritty stuff. There may be days where I don't post much in there, but if a bunch of stuff's happening, I'll give a lot more shorter term updates, things where I could just push in there and not really care about clogging up the Twitter feed. So absolutely join that. We'll see where that all goes. How's light looking this afternoon? Not sure what that is, Cade, but might have to take a look at that. What is all going on with the meeting with the SEC and Ripple or XRP are having today? Not too sure about that. I've seen people speculate about closed door meetings for about 2-3 years. Everybody's been wrong about that, so I don't look at that type of stuff, to be honest. I do believe that the lawsuit against Ripple is going to be broken. It's not broken. It's going to be withdrawn, closer than we think. So we just have to kind of wait and see for that. I'd be interested in your thoughts on flares. It's pretty much the same community as XRP. Yeah, guys, if you guys have ticker requests, let me know towards the end of the stream. I'll let you guys know when, I'll do some random ticker requests. But first, we'll go over Bitcoin, some higher level thoughts on a Sol and XRP as well. Appreciate it, Bits. Thanks, Bits and Cade. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate that, guys. Yeah, Bit said Dom is right. These are powerful entries, both long and short. Look for these traps and be ready to act. He's absolutely right, guys. These are one of the best. Literally, if I had to pick any setup to trade the rest of my life, hopefully it would continue to present. It'd probably be a deviation and a reclaim. They're one of the cleanest setups with clear invalidations, and here was the perfect example. This was a pitch perfect textbook trade. Truly just an amazing trade. These are the type of trades I love. I saw it before we broke down. I saw the potential, saw the reclaim, saw the entry, saw the target. perfect, step-by-step type of stuff. It has me rolling. Have you looked into SHX? Would you be willing to do a breakdown? Yeah, like I said, guys, remind me towards the end of the stream if you guys are looking at any specific tickers. Would love to do that towards the end of the stream. You comment on weekly Bitcoin pennant that may have just broke? Yeah. So we'll start off there with Bitcoin. See if I have a cleaner chart here. Maybe Bybit spot. Okay, perfect. So if we look here, we could consider this a pennant. The only thing I don't like to consider this a pennant is the fact that this is more of a straight line to me, and this is more of a straight line to me. So if we go on to like a high time frame, we can maybe consider this a pennant. If irrespective of wicks, we can maybe consider this a pennant, maybe like that. And if that is the case, that's fine. It still is going to keep the same upper and lower bounds, in my opinion, which is now that 92, and which is like that 103 to 106. So, in my opinion, we could look at it that way, but more so, my type of analysis is going to more so look at this as just a range. We have clear upper bounds, clear lower bounds. If we put it on a daily, our upper bound of this range is probably about 106. Our lower bound of this range is about 92 if I had to take if I just had to pick a number. And then maybe on the weekly might show a cleaner. Yeah, basically, even maybe drop this down a little bit more and see. To me, this is just a horizontal range, so, we'll continue to play it like that. How much do you subscribe to charting indexes? Total 3. I use those a lot, absolutely. Definitely use those a lot, so we'll cover those as well. So yeah, let's see what else you guys had. Does the first XRP ETF have any impact in the US? Not too sure about that. Obviously, it's a great thing to see. I don't think that it would probably have any impact on our ETFs or people in the United States. I wouldn't believe so. So all right, yeah, let's dive in here to just general analysis here on Bitcoin. So, basically, if we go back, let's see where I had all of my VWAPs. Yeah, perfect. So a lot of VWAPs here, and obviously very powerful. And just like I said, we had the perfect reclaim and retest, and wow, on this stream looks like we're actually running to new local highs. So awesome thing to see. And essentially, we're still in this range. The top of the range and my target for that trade, basically down here, set on the spaces as well. Was it yesterday or the day before? Target was about 98 to 99 to 100. So we're entering that level right now. And this is where this is kind of the first level that we need to see bulls break past. If we could see bulls break past this first level right here, we are definitely in for a much stronger revival back to probably mid-range. So if we look here on the volume profile, we can see that, we're still trading in between these high volume areas. So, we see high volume cliff right there, high volume cliff right there. That's where all of this consolidation happened. It happened right in this orange line. This orange line here is the point of control. And essentially the top of this high volume area sits right at about 90, what is this, 99.5. So we'll just call it 100K for, example purposes. And also, too, our previous all-time high, we can consider this a fake out. So let's consider this our all-time high. We see this VWAP right here stands right there. So once again, these VWAPs are very powerful, and that's kind of where I had my first target because of that. We have 3 VWAPs right there. Let's see what this other one was this high, other one was this low, and they all coincide right here about that 99K area. So this right here is the first target, and we're just about to hit that. So what we need to see is for bulls to really grind themselves through this. Maybe some consolidation up here, maybe a retest of this range once we do hit this, or if we can right now. But generally speaking, this 100K is now going to be that line in the sand. It's 100% going to be that line in the sand, in my opinion, because we could look at that as perfect mid-range, 108, 106 to 93. That's basically about 100K. So we'll consider that mid-range. If we look right here, let's see. Yeah, perfectly 100,500 is considered that 50% level of that entire top to that bottom. So what I'm looking at here is I'm looking for bulls to continue to push through. We'll pop over to the order books here and kind of see how much resistance we have. Really not too much. There's definitely some stuff there, but nothing too crazy. And just generally speaking, this isn't looking bad anymore. The last few weeks we've been talking about this, and I'm like, buyers don't care. They need lower prices, and we got that lower price. We got that 93K, and since then, I mean, we can't say that this market's been too weak. We had a little pullback here because of the SPX, and then look, we already rallied way back higher. So, generally speaking, this is looking pretty good to me. No, I'm not calling for new highs yet. I'm still taking a more reactive approach. I'm still realizing we are in a range. But generally speaking, like, this is what you want to see. You want to see a 14-day range breakdown, bulls reclaim that, and then bulls push back to that high. So generally speaking, we're definitely still in this range, but 100K, that's really the level now. That's really the level where things can get much more interesting after that. So let's just keep that all in mind. But on the high time frame, I still think that Bitcoin is obviously looking really bullish. Just generally, if we go back to the, if we go back to the, basically the flows here, and if we look, we'll just use Velo for this. You guys saw me post about this probably the last few weeks even. I basically posted, and this might be something you guys have questions on, or if you're more curious about, but this right here is the cumulative volume delta. So if we look at all the buy orders and all the sell orders and take the sum, this is the chart of that. So what I've been talking about the last few weeks is how much absorption has been happening. We've been seeing a crazy amount of absorption up here. And, if we just look at this 7-month range we had, let's look at this 7-month range. Bitcoin fell 34%. And throughout that whole time, let's say since the low, we had about 5 billion net market sold. Okay. So let's apply that same logic here. Bitcoin has fallen 17%, half of what it did in the summer. And it's absorbed 13 billion of sell pressure. So if we look at that, 5.3 billion versus 13 billion, that's a substantial difference. That's more than 100% more, So what does that tell us? That tells us that someone else is on the other side of these sell orders. So these are tracking market orders. If you guys know what, I'm sure you guys know what market orders are versus limit. If I go on my exchange, I click limit order, I'm basically putting an order in the book and I'm waiting for someone else to fill it, right? This right here can only track market orders. So that's when you sign into your exchange and you click market sell. That's what this is going to show, because that's what drives markets. Limit orders don't move markets. Market orders, also known as aggressive orders, are what move markets. So if we look at this, this to me is very interesting, and I'm surprised not many other people have been talking about this. 13 billion net market sold, equal lows. 6 billion net market sold, lower lows for, how much longer is this? This is 200 days versus 90 days. Half the time, twice the amount of sell pressure, and equal lows. So what's happening here is there are limit buyers on the other side, and they're absorbing all of this buy or all of this sell pressure. So to me, that signals strength. It really, really, really signals strength. And if we even go back on a 1 week here to see all of the CVD, or actually it only goes back to 2021. Can you guys see what I mean here about the slope of this selling? Look at the slope here. We pull back 50%. Look at this slope. That slope there. Look at this slope where we pull back another 50%. It was that right there. This was basically another 40% pullback. Look at that slope. Throughout here, we had that sell pressure. Then look at this. You guys see what I mean here? Let me know in the comments. Is this confusing to you, or do you guys understand what I'm trying to present here and the idea that I'm trying to get across? Just let me know in the comments, because not many people, share this type of order flow analysis, just looking at the general, amount of sell pressure. And this is something people don't talk about. There's been billions and billions sold. So yeah, I see you guys posted a few more tickers. Just feel free to you know, basically wait till the end and then throw those in. I would love to cover those towards the end. Thanks for popping in, Cade. Appreciate that. Absorption, yeah. Yeah, so some of you guys see it there. That's exactly right. That's exactly what's happening here is this is absorption. And it's not just any little bit of absorption. It's $10 billion of absorption. And, you know, I see Bits said, you know, but Dob, no one is selling. It's all just manipulation. It's exactly right. You know, that's what most people believe. But no, guys, we're not talking about like a few hundred million being sold. We're talking about 13 billion net market sold in just 90 days. That is a lot of Bitcoin sold. You know, what even is 13 billion? Let me do the math real quick here. 13 billion divided by, let's say 100K. It's about 130,000 Bitcoin sold. That is a lot of Bitcoin, guys. That's like, you know, like quarter of what Sailor has. It's basically the amount that the U.S. government holds. So yeah, what I'm basically getting at here, and then we'll move on, is there's a lot of sell pressure, and price refuses to break down. Does that mean it won't break down? No. But what it does mean is if this thing could gun back to highs right here, and this sell pressure tapers off, we are in for another leg, 100%. I mean, there's no questions asked. No questions asked at all. You know, this is something that I use mainly on short time frames, absorption. But, you know, it's really a telltale to me. And what I wanted to show is this right here. Kind of like what just Bit said. You know, whales and OGs are selling and institutions are buying. Whether this data is correct or not, this 100% supports that concept. Look at this. This shows the 2024 change in ownership of Bitcoin. Look, it claims that funds and ETFs businesses added about 1 million Bitcoin to their stack, while, you know, governments, other and individuals basically sold off 1 million Bitcoin to their stack. So, you know, that to me is, it's pretty telling. You know, it's pretty telling. And if you guys didn't see this post I made, it's exactly what I was just showing you guys. I posted this now, what was this, February 7th? So, you know, basically 2 weeks ago. 11 billion net market sold, equal lows. 7 billion net market sold, lower lows. And then I basically said who's selling, and we see it was long-term holders. And we said, why is this time different? Because we have ETF, Sailor, and other big players on the other side. So this is very interesting to me, guys. People are selling their Bitcoin into institutions' hands, and we have the data right here to show that. And, you know, Sailor, whoever else keeps gobbling that up. So this is a very interesting thing, and we'll obviously continue to keep eyes on it. So yeah, let's pop back over here to the charts. That's really all I have on Bitcoin. If you guys have more questions on Bitcoin, let me know. I basically said that, you know, this 99 to 100K. That's our level we need to break in the short term. That's the top of this range. This trade played out perfect. If anyone else took that, awesome. One of the better trades that I shared publicly, walked step by step. And then otherwise, you know, Bitcoin's range is still intact. We're still holding that trend line that I've been talking about now for like a month, that top trend line, where prices go parabolic after. That's also been our support along with this election VWAP. So, you know, it's still a good setup. Everything is still in a very good setup, in my opinion. So yeah, Ethereum. Ethereum here is, you know, questionable, but like I said in the last few streams, this is the low for Ethereum, or it's going to 1500. And I don't think we're in that time, guys. You know, I'll be glad to be wrong here, but I don't think Ethereum breaks this low for many months, if not a year, 2 years. It's really my honest opinion. And also too is, you know, we just look at trend line, very simple trend line. I know trend lines could be a simple thing, but they work good. They work really good. Look at any time we've touched this trend line. We've seen some strong reaction. We've seen 95%, 160%, 89%. So, you know, do we think we're just going to see 7%? If so, I think that the bear market's here, but I don't. I don't think that we're in a bear market. I think we're in a maturing market. I think we're in a maturing market that continues to, you know, chop people up. That's really the market that I believe we're in. So it's a simple view here on Ethereum. Not really much to say, but I wouldn't be shocked if, this does break higher in the short term. We can consider this a wedge. We consider this a bear pennant. Even though it's just a structure that we have two areas where we'll watch for a clear breakout. And then if we throw up a volume profile on here, we could see the top of the range is about 2,800. And then still, obviously, Ethereum's got a lot of ways to go before we're like super mega bullish on it. But, we still have to watch it step by step. That's first step. This is second step. This is third step. This is fourth step. This is like fifth step. There we go. At this point, that's when you could be like, okay, we're probably high probability we run back to 4K. So not much to say on Ethereum besides it continues to stay weak. Continues to not be of too much interest to me. There's other coins that are much, much stronger than this coin. So it's like, why do we even want to, as a trader, why do we want to pay too much attention to it? So yeah, that's really all I have there on Ethereum. Sol here is another good one. This is something I covered on the stream, last stream. I basically said word for word, I said, I think it was right here. I said I would be shocked if Sol does not break lower. I said that would be our first level if we throw on the VWAP suite. I think that's the yearly rolling VWAP. Let's see if we could throw up the yearly on there. Yep, that's the first level right there. And I said probably more so we're going to touch that uptrend line. And sure enough, that's exactly what we did. You see just a clear uptrend we had since 2024, so over a year long. And I took a perfect trade off this level as well. I did close that out already because it was just a nice scalp. And if you guys are curious what my entry criteria was, same concept. My entry criteria was a breakdown of the previous low, breakdown, regain, reclaim. My entry was right there. We had a second reclaim as well. Push back there. Your stops are below these wicks. We pushed up right back to that previous area that we had some little bit of consolidation. Perfect trade. About a 7% trade right there. So once again, this right here should be top of the line type of entry criteria. It's really, really awesome. So same thing with Sol, I'm not necessarily too bullish, and if Bits is still in here, he's talked about this for a while. We even had a stream about this, basically talking about how Sol would probably go higher in USD terms, but not really in Bitcoin terms, if you compare it to Bitcoin or pair it to total. And that's exactly what basically happened. Sol did make a USD high. I don't believe it made a new high against total. Maybe it just wicked it very cleanly. And at this point, Sol is still in an uptrend, but you don't really want to accept back into previous value area. So break out of value area, deviate the highs twice, back into previous value area. I'm still not like bearish on Sol. I would be bearish on Sol if it accepts below this 160 mark. That's where I think, and not necessarily bearish, I shouldn't say bearish, but I would have way less expectations in the near-term future for Sol. And of course, we have those unlocks coming in March, so, it definitely is something to keep eyes on. But I do think that Sol probably has a chance to, do something like this, granted the market does get better. And then maybe you could just spend a lot of time throughout here. Maybe that's basically what's going to happen. How to differentiate between accumulation and distribution. Maybe I'll make a video on that. There's a lot of different ways to do that. But essentially what you're looking for is volume. You're looking at, who's more in control using the flows. You're looking at, is there a lot of absorption? Absorption probably means that this is accumulation, at least from big players. Small players are distributing, but who's accumulating that? Big players. And who should we want to trade behind? Probably the big players, probably the smart money. And yeah, you just want to kind of look at the behavior at the top of the range and the bottom of the range, and that'll tell you, what's really happening throughout there. And for me, that's why it looks like to me that even if Bitcoin does deviate to 85K, I still see what we're seeing here is a bunch of absorption, a bunch of people absorbing that sell pressure. To me, that's not something that marks a top. Even like I said, even if Bitcoin does break down to the 85, even low 80s, I still don't think that range is going to be a top for an extended period of time. Institutions paying a premium to keep retail interest in Bitcoin at a low. We dropped 80 to 85K and everyone and their mom is a Bitcoin fan again. Very possible. Definitely very, very possible. More mature markets of the past? Yeah, you're absolutely right there, Craig. 100%. You do XRP, what range should we expect? Yeah, I'll cover XRP. Just give me just a few minutes here. We'll bounce over. With UK shipping their gold to New York due to tariffs, next month's going to be interesting. Yeah, a lot of stuff happening there with gold. You know, obviously gold, beautiful chart on gold. I mean, gold was just a textbook chart. I'm sure many of you guys did not follow me back then. I had Discords back then. I wasn't too much on X, but I was so bullish here on gold. I did post on X though. I said new high by end of 2024 or end of 2023. And of course, you know, this was the most beautiful chart we could ever ask for. So yeah, which I think that's good for you know, an assets like crypto, of course. Coinbase keeps selling. We would have seen 100K if it weren't for them. Yeah, they've been offloading a lot. If you guys saw, I posted that in Telegram actually, and we'll take a look there as well. I do think Sol has a good chance to reach close to 200-ish in the short term. I agree. I think that bouncing off that level, you know, like I said, some people might laugh at these uptrends, but this is an important level in my opinion. You know, that's not something Sol's just going to slice right through. You know, we're at least going to see reaction towards that previous breakdown area, in my opinion. We're able to check SHX. Yeah, like I said, guys, just keep it towards the end. I'll let you guys know when to throw in any tickers. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions here about Sol, let me know. I guess before we move on, let's take a look at some of the unique pairings on Sol. Just kind of get a little area. So shout out here to Bits of Wealth. He's in the chat there. He was very, very adamant about this, you know, and that's basically what we saw. It did not make a new high. And look, we just broke down into a previous low right there. So this is against the total crypto market cap. Obviously, it had a crazy spurt of outperformance. And Sol's still up an enormous amount. Sol can go down to $30, and it's still up more than Ethereum this cycle. Put that through your mind. It's pretty crazy to think about. Same thing here on Total 3. I mean, this is why I love some of the custom denominations. Look at that. Perfect trend, perfect retest, you know, bearish retest, and then look. You know, I love when that stuff comes out there that clean. Same thing here on others. You know, pretty clear uptrend we had. Retest that trend. Now we're going lower. So look at Sol versus XRP. What a chart that is. See, I think Sol against the rest of the market definitely can continue to lose itself. It definitely can, but you know, it's up so much. That's the thing. My average on Sol is $19, so I'm still holding it. I did take some profit, but I'm still holding it. I still think that there is a chance that Sol goes to $400 or $500 if this market really goes crazy over the next 8 months. I'm not discounting that possibility, but what that would mean is there's probably going to be coins that outperform it. Well, there's probably going to be coins that outperform it. So yeah, let's move over here to XRP. Let me know if you guys have any questions here about XRP. I know you guys like XRP. XRP's been a really strong one. Very, very, very strong one here, guys. And if you guys didn't note, over here, if you guys follow me on X, I'm sure you guys knew. I was posting a bunch of stuff right here. I basically said that we had the all-time high VWAP, so might be on this chart. Yep, this chart right here. We had the all-time high VWAP, which is an important level. See how I pinned that, this anchored VWAP right to that all-time high. I also said we had the monthly rolling VWAP, and then I also shared, we pop over here the order books. I also shared the fact that we basically had a bunch of sell orders up there. So if we look at a bunch of sell orders up there, see here, big Binance USDT. It's about 290, and then if we look here at Coinbase, Coinbase also had a bunch of sell orders up there. So, you know, if you guys are curious, you know, how do you find resistance zones, or how do you find this? How do you find that? Well, there you go. You know, there was your great example of how you find those type of levels. You know, we had the biggest amount of sell orders for weeks, basically weeks. You know, we had over 9 days. Once we reached this level, I shared that we had those sell orders. I shared that we were touching the all-time high VWAP. I shared that we had the monthly rolling VWAP. And sure enough, that was resistance. You know, that was a clear resistance level. And we bounced back down to these anchored VWAPs here. That was one of the best trades. I'm sure some of you guys might remember this. This was one of my best trades I've done in a long, long time. So throughout this thing, I basically said I'm going to be adding to longs all throughout these VWAP zones down to 220. 220 was the exact Pico bottom. We came back out of these bands, continue to hold them as support, retested them one more time, and then XRP went up 50%. It was one of the most pitch perfect trades. And if you guys have not watched my VWAP video, be sure to do that. These VWAPs are goated. You know, the best traders in the world use VWAPs. That should be enough to tell you the power of them. Like really the best traders in the world, they all use VWAPs. So if I had any advice to you, dive into VWAPs. They're a very powerful tool. So yeah, then again, you know, I basically posted, you know, where was our support? Our support was in the same VWAP bands that gave us that support last time before that move up. And sure enough, you know, we had a wick lower, then bam, XRP popped up 11% after. So XRP is still looking really strong. You know, of course, the level we need to get above is this all-time high VWAP. That's going to be my line in the sand right now. If you guys are confused, VWAPs basically represent the average transactional cost since an important event. So since the all-time high, everybody that bought and sold XRP, their average price is right here. So you look at the VWAPs as when you're trading below, bears are in control. When you're trading above, bulls are in control. It's really that simple. You know, and they sometimes act perfect as support and resistance. And we can see resistance on the monthly rolling. You know, we broke out, retesting it now as support. Retested this level, support perfect. So XRP is really still just in this range. The range is about 250 to about 280. And we could do anything in here. Once we break out of here, we're going to gun right back to the $3 range. And then at that point, you know, it's going to look pretty damn strong. So just be ready for that. And of course, this is going to depend on Bitcoin. We need Bitcoin above that 100K region. We need Bitcoin to really show some more strength. Granted, we don't have any secular news about XRP. I think it's still going to matter on the rest of the Bitcoin, you know, on how Bitcoin continues to trade. So if we look here, let's see the other chart I had here on XRP. Yeah, same concept. You know, we're still just in this value area as well. We can see the value area high is this dotted line. That's also where we rejected perfectly. If I extend this a little bit more here, see that rejection there. Try to get above, rejection there. So same concept. If we throw up that all-time high VWAP, just to have another one on here, we could see that this is the level we need to regain. XRP can regain this 280 level. It's going to be in for a run back to like 305, $3. So, yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions about that. Like I said, you know, this is not too much crazy to cover in the stream today. I just kind of wanted to reiterate my thoughts and go through. You know, last time we had a stream was, what was it? Right here, basically right here. So not much has really changed. And yeah, this is still looking good. I still think that this is looking good along with some other coins. We'll cover those here shortly. But for the most part, I really focus on the majors. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Sol. What else is there really to take a look at here? Let's see. Well, let's take a look at total. So let's go over here to my total chart. This is an important one right here. I've been talking about this for a long time. I'm sure you guys some of you guys probably already know. What I'm talking about here is the previous cycle all-time high. So back in 2021, we saw this exact scenario happen where the total crypto market cap basically broke out and retested its previous cycle all-time high. And it went crazy. So the last like month, no, even more, probably like a month and a half, I've been talking about this previous cycle all-time high. And I basically said that that's still my line in the sand. You know, this is still going to be my line in the sand, is that previous cycle all-time high. And sure enough, we have not broken out of that yet. We have not broken below that yet. We had a crazy deviation below that crazy fake out. And it just adds to my thought that, you know, this is something that, in my opinion, it's like we don't want to see this go lower. If this goes lower, we're entering a much longer consolidation phase where prices can drop another 50%. So as we stand, I just don't see it just yet. You know, we could even get something like this quickly again. That's fine. Accepting below this wick, though, we're in for trouble. I'm giving a low probability on that right now. And I really haven't changed my thoughts since it happened. You know, I posted this probably like right back then. Not much has changed on my thought. I've just been cautionary to where when Bitcoin was breaking down, to not get blindsided. So yeah, to me, this is like, I don't know. If I just look at this in a simple term, and if we could break this trend right here, I feel like this is going to rally back up to here. I do. I feel like after that deviation, as long as Bitcoin can hold up here around 98, 99, 100 and doesn't just get shot right back down, I think we're in a decent area. Bit says send it back to 3.5. I kind of feel like that's what we might be in that right now. I do feel like this is ready for some relief. Just generally speaking, this is ready for some relief. So we'll see. Obviously, we're not broken out yet, and I don't have all my VWAPs on here. I do on here. Or actually, I haven't redrawn most of them. Just throw up a few over here on the previous highs. So yeah, previous highs sit at like 3.3. So at least back to 3.3, see what we could do there. So yeah, things aren't looking too bad right now here, guys. Granted, Bitcoin doesn't send it right back down to, 94. Things are looking pretty good, and I've stated this the last few days after that deviation. So yeah, then beyond that, let's see what else I had here. Others, don't know if I had any. Yeah, I don't have anything up on here. For all you Elliott Wave guys, I'm not a big Elliott Wave guy, but this right here is a clear ABC. It's a clear corrective ABC structure. I used to use this way back when. Don't use Elliott Wave anymore, really. I think Elliott Wave's way too subjective, especially like the crazy wave counts of the subwaves and this and that. I don't really like that type of analysis. But something like a clear ABC, I mean, it doesn't look too controversial to say that this is a clear ABC wave. Going a higher time frame, probably could see it even cleaner. ABC, that is a corrective wave right here. And the fact that we're holding that previous high as well, right back here that we established back in March, very similar concept to to total showing, the previous cycle all-time high. So yeah, it's really like a clean little area that we're in right now. And yeah, let's see what else we had here. I think that was it that I had for the majors. If you guys had any other questions about the majors, feel free to throw them in. See if you guys have any questions. What is the bottom important VWAP band? Not sure exactly which one you were referring to. Feel free to ask which VWAP band you were referring to, and let me know. Would love to see that. Just give me 1 second here. One second. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I think that's really generally what I wanted to look at. I'll probably cover a few more order flow things here. And if you guys enjoy this, feel free to hit the like button. Looks like we got almost 80 people in here, only 28 likes. Definitely hit that like button. Only can help me. Free for you to do. And then also subscribe. I've been doing these weekly streams about once a week. And like I said, today's not. Fortunately, the last few streams, they've been great. Much education you could draw from them, but not too much to talk about. Streams throughout these periods are going to be really fun. These are going to be the fun streams. We're looking at a bunch of trades, updating things like that. So excited for those times to come. But unfortunately, we're not there just yet. Hopefully pretty soon we can be there. So yeah, Polkadot thoughts. Can you share your thoughts on Ondo? Yeah, just let me know towards the end. Like I said, I'll cover whatever coins you guys want to. Can you answer what I had asked? What else did you ask? Let's see. What's the meaning about that XRP has today? Like I said, guys, I don't look into any of that. That to me is just hopium type of stuff. Like I've been seeing that for years. I don't care to, speculate on what a meaning's about. If the lawsuit's going to get dropped, it's going to get dropped. We don't need to speculate. We don't know enough. If the lawsuit's dropped, we're going to see the news and we're going to see the price react. So, we could sit here and speculate all we want, but people that speculate too much, all they do is speculate and then they just waste their time. So, I don't have any more info than you guys do about that, fortunately. The important one we bounced off before your best trade. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at that. So that was just a band of VWAPs that I drew. So you draw these VWAPs on major important areas. So they're either events. So this was the all-time high. This was the breakout. This was the low. Drew one from the high, from the low, from the high, from the low. And what you want to look at is when they all coincide. So see how they were all like coinciding here? They were all apexing together. That's when they become important. And then same thing right there. See how they all apex? That's support. That's when they become important. One of my favorite things ever, honestly, guys. You guys have probably seen me talk about this now for a while. Super powerful stuff right there. Soul retesting 164-ish, pique your interest for a long setup. Let's take a look here. So, Soul, like I said, my entry was down there. I think I took profit right there. Just because it was a good trade. I didn't feel like holding it too long. And more so, if we look here at Soul, let's throw up. We have a rolling. See if I can throw up my daily rolling VWAP, see what that's at, maybe the weekly. See where those sit. That might give us a little bit more info on what we're looking at here. But essentially, I do think that Soul's on its way back to about 190, 200. I don't know the path it's going to take to get there, because to me, this kind of does look like a rising wedge. And what I want to see is this uptrend get, taken out. So as for entries, Hunter, this isn't personally for me. This is not really where I like to enter. That doesn't mean it can't do that, but I like to see a little bit more confirmation. And to me, this is kind of mid-range. Kind of had a 3-tap right here. So I'm not really too interested in trading Soul again. If we get another retest down here and we're trying to round out, that's probably where I'd look for another long entry. But as of right now, it doesn't pique my interest too much. Kind of had to be quick reaction on this bottom trend line right there to get the best entry. Been watching your stream since 1 week. Love your analysis. Been useful for beginners like me. Appreciate that, guys. Yeah, I hope that these streams are at least educational. Like I said, not the most fun time right now, but they will be fun. I can guarantee you that. We'll have a few hundred people in here, and there'll be some fun stuff. What VWAP indicator? So if you look at my VWAP, I built a VWAP suite right here. So if you just search VWAP suite, multiple VWAP suite, it will come up under Trader View 2. You could feel free to add that one on there. It's a really nice indicator. Built in all the VWAPs you need. Come back to take a look at Sui, and I'll play the replay of it later. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll take a quick look here at Sui, and then we'll cover the rest of the coins here you guys were looking at. So Sui, first thing right here is this is awesome. Right off of our 12-month rolling VWAP. This is a very important level, guys. This right here is looking at the volume weighted average price over the last year. So it's a very powerful level. And Sui, to me, doesn't look bad at all. Sui actually looks really good here. What I probably want to see is, I'd want to see us get back above that level. That's really our high volume node. We've been toying around with this mid-range point of control. I don't really like to get too interested in right in that level. It'd be more so down here at the value area low. See that dotted line is the value area low. And then even for something like this, I usually like to look at, I'll maybe throw on an EMA band or just more so just a downtrend. And, if we look, Sui did just break out and retest of a downtrend. Not the cleanest trend. See if we throw it on the log chart, might get a better one. No, not the best one there. But for the most part, if we extend this trend like that, that is a long, very drawn out retest. I see that happen a lot on short-term time frames and whatnot. So I think that with the rest of the market, staying bullish right here, I think that Sui probably can run back to about the 380 range, and then above the 380 range, I think the value area high is a given. So 380 to 450. That's probably where I'd be looking for an entry if I didn't have one down here. So Sui to me does look bottomed out. It totally does look bottomed out to me, which is a good sign, because Sui's been leading this market for a long time. I'm not a trader, but I enjoy gleaning from your knowledge. Appreciate that. Much appreciated, guys. On your VWAP suite, I see you click on highs and lows. Is that on light or view? If view, can you make it as simple as a click? Yeah, that's just a drawing tool. So if you look right here, anchored VWAP, you click that, you click it at any high or low, bam, it will draw you one. And that's where, if you guys are curious, like if you look, If you look back here on, what is this? XRP, what's on the perp trade right here? These are all just a bunch of bands of VWAP. So I'll just go through, put on the magnet tool, stay in drawing mode, and then I'll just keep drawing them on highs and lows. And then, like I said, where they coincide is where they're very, very powerful. Very, very powerful stuff. So yeah, guys. Let's see what else we had here. Before I move on, I'll take some requests here. Yeah, just a bunch of charts. Still looking at that election VWAP here on Bitcoin. This is looking beautiful. Really looking beautiful. And some more confluence here, that 100K regions from our all-time high VWAP. So first target I had was right there. Second main area we need to regain is to get above that 100K region. And then we really have some fun stuff ahead. So before we move on, let's take a look now at the order books. And then I'll take all your guys' chart requests. So the order books are pretty clean here, guys. Pretty good stuff to look at here. Nothing too crazy here on the short-term time frame. You know, if we go on to a 30-minute here, look, I mean, we have a little bit of a sell wall at about 100K. So we see here at about 100K, we have a little bit of a sell wall. But until then, I mean, this is pretty clean. Pretty clean stuff here. You know, nothing too crazy at all. And then let's take a look at the perp pair. And then we'll take a look at Coinbase. Perp pair, same concept. Look at this. Let's get a little bit cleaner there. Nothing too much. You know, that's where we need to be like worried or happy. Nothing too much till about that 101K region. So it's up to bulls here. Bulls can keep pushing this right up to 100K. And they got some good momentum to do it. I'll tell you that. They definitely have some good momentum to do it. And then let's take a look here at Coinbase. So let's see what we got here on Coinbase. Wow, Coinbase might be my slider here. Same concept. Coinbase books are thin. Nothing until about 100K. We got 100 Bitcoin there. Look at that. Much more buy side liquidity, about 390 Bitcoin. Here, about only about 150. So, you know, we break that 100K, we could ride right to 104 as well. So yeah, not looking bad at all. If you guys saw me talking about Bitfinex, they've been twapping for so long, and sure enough, they might turn out to be perfectly right here as usual. Look at how long they've been twapping for. Twap is time weighted average price. It's a way to enter the market based on a time scale. So if we look back here on the Bitfinex, if this loads here, yep, we can see all of this right here, all of this buy delta. That's them twapping. They've been twapping for days and days and days. And if you guys are curious, Bitfinex does not move the market, but the traders that still trade on Bitfinex are the most OG whales you could ever ask for. So they usually know something that we don't. And yeah, beyond that, I mean, not much happening here. This market, this has been pushed up decent. So yeah. So yeah, that's about all I have up here. Let's see what else we had over here. It's really it that I think I wanted to cover here. You know, not too much to go over. Well, I guess last thing here is let's look at the TPO chart with the rest of the VWAPs. Same concept here. We have all of these VWAPs from this consolidation up here when Trump got elected. You know, those all coincide to about 100K. So that's what it confirms my thought that 100K is that line in the sand. If Bitcoin can get above that 100K, we're back at it. I'm not saying we're going to go right to highs, but we really have the chance to push right back to these highs. And if we push back to these highs and we're accepting above 104, 105, Bitcoin's in a really good area. Bitcoin is in a really, really good area. So I have some optimism here, and I've had it the last few days. So I don't have optimism just because coins are pumping. Right after that deviation, I termed optimism, and I took some trades reflecting that as well. So, all right, guys. Now we'll go through your coins. So feel free to throw them in. Let's start off with Litecoin. The Litecoin's been one I've been talking about for a while here. Not a while, for the last week or two. So Litecoin here, I had this fractal comparison, which played out really well, actually. You know, we just had like a triple tap and then push. triple tap, and then push. So if I look over here at Litecoin perps, we can get a clean chart. You know, to me, Litecoin looks ready to send it. You know, we're still in a range here. We just got rejected at that top range, but still, this to me is, this thing's ready to go in my opinion. You know, that to me is, that's looking pretty good. You know, even if we do come down like this again and hold it back up, Litecoin to 180 seems like a given. I totally think that Litecoin is probably on its way to 180. Many people just haven't realized it yet. So I'm bullish on Litecoin. That is not how a top is put in. I've told you guys that now for a little bit. I think I made the chart on Coinbase. Yeah, so look, this is where tops are put in. Tops are put in quick. You know, quick top, quick, quick. Same thing there, quick. And then you see how we're spending all this time at the top? See how, you know, bears have not rejected us too hard up here? 180 is a given in my opinion. 180 is definitely a given. So let's strap in for that one. Of course, we're going to need probably the market to stay in a, you know, decent area. We can't just be free falling, but for the most part, Litecoin's on its way to 180 first, in my opinion. So yeah, let's go through here. Whiff. Take a look here at Whiff. I mean, I'm not sure what to even say about Whiff. I mean, do I think Whiff's going to an all-time high? No. I think Whiff is done. That era is over. So if you bought at those all-time highs, you're probably going to be holding that for a long time, if not forever. Now, what I do think is on a bullish market, with the altcoins reviving, I do think Whiff can go back to like $1.45. That would be an underside retest, about 100% move. But as for Whiff, like going anywhere near like $2 to $3, I'm not going to entertain that. You know, this chart looks terrible. Look at this chart compared to Litecoin. No, it's not even like a comparison. So yeah, and then if I throw up, let's see if we can throw up some of these VWAPs here. Let's see where the monthly, and then let's see the quarterly. See where those sit. So yeah, we're not even past the monthly. I wouldn't even be interested until we're past the monthly, because I'm not going to fish this bottom right here. Even though it does look like we could pop back up, you know, back to its 70-cent range. To me, this is of no interest to me. Let's see what else you guys have. Link. Yeah, let's take a look here at Link. Link's a good one here. I like Link. I think Link's probably gonna perform well once the altcoins wake back up. So Link's been holding that downtrend. I mean that downtrend, yeah, that downtrend it retested. It's been holding it pretty well. And to me, this looks like a bottom for Link. I don't think that Link's gonna go too much lower here, else we got some serious problems. You know, we definitely have some serious problems here. If Link breaks this wick, it could do that, sure. But I don't see Link going below $15. So this probably is going to chuck its way right back up just like that. But, you know, this is early, no confirmation yet. Confirmation, we need to see at least all of those wicks get taken out. So about the regaining $20 puts it in a really good area to send back to like 22. So yeah. Polkadot? Okay, let's look at Polkadot. Polkadot has been a very, very bearish coin. Not a coin I'm interested in at all. Haven't traded this at all this cycle. Haven't even held it. Haven't been interested in holding it. It just, yeah, I mean, this chart just, you know, it's like, you want to be holding something that looks like this? I don't. Not when you have things that look like XRP, Monero, and Litecoin, and OM, you know. So similar concept here. I'm not interested in getting involved in these coins until they're at least above their monthly rolling VWAP. And then more so, what I'd be looking for is a regain of that 520. We get a regain of this 520, preferably a retest. I'd be targeting about 650. So simple view there on DOT. Why do they got some good momentum to push the price to 100K? Because the Coinbase sells were absorbable. Yeah, because Coinbase isn't even causing an impact right now. There's definitely some fuel behind this rally. This rally, the bulls just need to keep stepping up. They can do it. Order books are thin. I'd be concerned if we had big sell orders above us. We don't. There's no big sell orders till 100K. So bulls can just keep doing what they've been doing, and they'll push us right to 100K. We'll see if they can do it. ARK. We'll take a look here at ARK. Interesting. This coin's probably too small for me to even care about. This was a coin back in 2017 I used to hold. I used to trade. This was a crazy coin back then. But like now, this coin's dead. This coin, in my opinion, is dead. So yeah, I mean, not much really to say about this. Yeah, I don't really even know what to say about ARK. It's too small for me to care about. Just so you guys know, I only focus on like the top 50, top 100. That's really all I focus on. We would need to see structure break for me to get any type of interest in this coin to see something like that. And more so, we need to see the altcoins in an expansive mode. Altcoins are far from an expansive mode right now. I showed the levels on others. I showed the levels on total 2 that we need to regain. So yeah. VRA. Okay, we'll take a look here at VRA. It's probably another small coin. Yeah. Not even going to comment on this. Sorry, guys. Not going to comment on this coin. Like if in the most respectful way, if you guys are in this market, I wouldn't be looking at or even caring about these coins that are dead. Like, this coin is completely dead. This coin's down 97%, and it just keeps making new lows. Like, if you want some advice from me, don't even be focusing on these coins. Just forget about them. Doesn't matter if they make their little 100, 200% pump. Just focus on things that are showing strength. Because if you try to bottom fish things like this, it's just, you're probably just going to get taken out. Just even since December, it's down 75%. Wow, you guys are spamming some coins today. You guys are really spamming some coins. AR, this is a good project, but the chart looks terrible. Once again, guys, like, if you're a trader in this market, you just, I don't know. I don't think you should really be spending too much time focusing on these coins that are dead. These coins are dead. They really are dead. And even if they put in another pump, these coins are dead. So, I'd love to know why you guys are interested in these coins, because to me, it's like, I don't see any use in taking a look at these coins. So yeah, unfortunately. INJ, similar concept. INJ is just, it was great coin in 2023, but, pretty simple view here on INJ. It needs to reclaim this level. We can look at this as a deviation. If it reclaims this level, retest, I'd look for an entry back to a pushback to like 23 bucks. I could totally see that happening. So I think that that's, if you're looking at INJ, you want to see a reclaim of 1630, 1640-ish, 1650 reclaim, and then you could look for a pushback into the lower 20s. GRT. Yeah, this coin's very similar to the others, just completely just dead. Even this trend line right here needs to regain that uptrend. Definitely needs to regain that uptrend right there. So, above 14 cents, you might be able to look for a long to 18 cents, but otherwise, no. Wouldn't be too interested in that. Okay. All right. You guys are really spamming some coins here. I'll try to get through them quickly. Bera. Not much to say about Bera. It's a brand new listing. If you're not in from down here, I'd look for lower entries probably. Or if not, look for entries above 840. Entries above 840 would be of interest to me. Doge. Yeah, we'll take a look here at Doge. Doge is a good one. So we had a good breakout here, but obviously it failed. I thought it would at least roll back to the monthly rolling VWAP, but it didn't happen. So Doge, just nothing interesting here to me for Doge. You know, these are the type of coins I want to be interested in these when they have structure breaks. And this doesn't have any structure break to me. This is still in the abyss. So yeah, I'm not interested in Doge until it's above like 29 cents. That's really all I'd be saying, above 29 cents. So, okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at Ondo, guys. I love Ondo. I'll definitely take a look at Ondo. SHX. I don't know. This coin looks very small. Very small coin, but obviously it's done pretty damn well. Not really much to say about this besides, as long as it holds this 12-cent range, it could be looked at as a retest of its previous range. So yeah. Okay, last thing I'll look at here is Ondo, and I'll look at ADA. Ondo's a good one here. So on my last stream, I said that this was going to happen. I posted the video. It's looking for longs at like 115. Those played pretty well. But unfortunately now, Ondo needs to get back above 130 to 140. Until then, this is all noise. So Ondo above 130, 140, we're in a really good area to send it back to like 180. So I'd be super interested in that on Ondo. ADA, very similar concept. You see how it's retesting its previous support as resistance? It needs to regain that. So, you know, ADA here above 82 cents, about 80, 82 cents. If it can hold that level, super useful. You know, that'll be a very, very useful thing for a trader to look for an entry. So that's what I'll be doing here on ADA. 82, 80 cents. It's back in its area. But just keep in mind, guys, these coins have a lot to go before we're like in areas where big moves can happen, in my opinion. You know, these aren't the area where we'll just send it back to highs. We got to inch our way back into like the dollar range and whatnot. So yeah. Okay, guys. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to cover here. I don't think so. I guess what we'll look at last is, or before we start to wrap up here, is Ondo spot buying. Still been going on pretty damn well. Seen a lot of spot buying still here on Ondo, so that's promising. You know, if this starts really rolling over, I'd be more concerned. But for the most part, I think Ondo's going to pass $2 once the market goes higher. I think it's in a good level to do that. I think it's in a very good level to do that. So yeah, beyond that, guys, not too much else here. I fixed my indexes the other day, and it's pretty amazing how the dinos have been holding up. Like look at the dinos each week. Dinos led that week, the second best performer that week, second best performer that week. This week, the second best performer, and just last night, they were the top performer. So dinos are really, they got some stuff behind them. The dinos are really strong dinos. So yeah, the last thing I'll cover here, and then we'll wrap it up here, guys. Throw in your last questions. No more ticker requests. Throw in your last questions. What I wanted to cover here was the XRP pairings. XRP pairings, I love looking at these. These are awesome. Look at XRP versus total. Just immensely strong here. Still needs to get back above like that level right there for us to see something crazy, but it's just so strong compared to the rest of the market. XRP versus others made a new all-time high yesterday, or not all-time high, new multi-year high. And then if we see XRP Bitcoin, so XRP Bitcoin here doesn't look too bad, but with Bitcoin now starting to rally, we could see this come back down to here and still be fine, and then kind of round back out like that. That's what I'd be interested in looking for on XRP Bitcoin. XRP Ethereum, this is a very interesting one. So this resistance level right here, very important resistance level. Sure, you guys maybe saw the post I made about this. Let's see here. XRP Bitcoin or XRP Ethereum. You see how much that resistance level has been respected the last 3,000 days? Look at that. And look at where we're kind of grinding through right now. Look at that. See how much reactions we've had in this level? I got an alert set right here, so when this thing breaks that, we better strap in. It's gonna be a fun time there. Good XRP versus Sol, almost making a new high. XRP versus Doge continues to make new highs. XRP versus Cardano also has been making new highs. XRP versus AVAX. This chart's crazy. Up 600% since November. XRP versus Link keeps making new highs. XRP versus XLM keeps making new highs. You know that resistance level I was talking about the last few months. Unfortunately, we didn't see any strong reaction yet, and we might be breaking it. You could see each time that's when XLM started outperforming. We're not seeing that yet. So I'll keep my eyes on there, but nothing too strong to take from that. So XRP versus Uni. Yeah, XRP is just strong against the rest, really the whole rest of the market. Yeah, I forgot to look at Flare here. I'll look at Flare for you guys. Flare was the biggest flop of the century, though. I'll never forget looking at Flare. For all of you OGs, let me know if you guys were around. Were you guys around when this was happening here? Were you guys around when we had the Flare airdrop right here? Right before the lawsuit was announced. Everybody thought the Flare was going to change everything. It was going to send XRP to the moon. And just nothing happened. What a crazy time. I miss those days. Crypto was a lot less scammy. No meme coins. We had actual, promise of utility. Altcoins actually pumped. So, let's see. Let's go back to Flare here. So, Flare to me, I mean, there's not much to take from Flare, honestly. It's just looks a lot like those altcoins. This is not a bullish chart to me. Or at least it's not a strong chart. If you look at the rest of the coins, this is not a strong chart. Not really a strong chart, unfortunately, on Flare. So yet again, I'm not interested in these type of things personally. It just doesn't pique my interest at all. I'm looking where the mind share is. We know where the mind share's been. The mind share's been on RWA. It's been on Ohm. It's been on Ondo. It's been on XRP. What else has it been on? Those are really the strong coins. It's been on Litecoin. It's been on Monero. So just know, guys, I focus on the strong coins. I don't care about these weak coins. There's thousands of them. I don't really care about that. And that's just the way I approach the market now. I've been doing this now for 8 years, and this type of market is way different. And I just don't care to look at these coins that are down, crazy amounts or aren't showing any relative strength. That's why I use Spaghetti here. I could see what's showing relative strengths. Like, look at Pith and Maker. These things are taking off right now. Pith, Maker, Tau, Grass, and Litecoin. Those are the top performers. You guys are asking, these are my indexes I made. I haven't shared these publicly. Maybe one day I will, but these are an index that takes 20 coins out of each category and shows the performance of them. Oh. Yeah, well, appreciate it, guys. If you guys are still in here, be sure to hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed, free to do so. Feel free to subscribe, and let me throw in I'm going to throw in the link to my Telegram. If you guys have not joined my Telegram, be sure to do that. I'm going to be posting probably a lot more stuff in there. Let me see if I could. Looks like I'll just have to type it in. I'm not sure if it'll even work on here, but if you guys look in the description of this video, it's actually in there. So if you look in the description of the video, it's in there. But that right there is going to be the link for that. So feel free to throw that in. Add in. I'll probably sometimes share stuff in there that you won't see on my X. So be sure to join into that. It should be a fun time. I'll just share some more random stuff. But yeah, other than that, guys, that was about it. That's about it. I guess we'll take a quick look here at XRP on the order flow. Spot buying has been happening. Spot keeps continuing to buy. Binance has been holding up, haven't been selling off. Kraken's been holding up. Coinbase keeps buying. Bitstamp keeps buying. OKX keeps buying. things are looking good here, guys. Things are looking really good here on XRP. As long as Bitcoin continues itself, we could probably do another try of that 280 here soon. Just need Binance to step back in as usual. Yellow line. Binance needs to step itself back in, and then we'll go for it. But yeah, guys, appreciate that. Let me know if you enjoyed the stream. Today wasn't wasn't, like I said, not the craziest stuff to talk about, but going forward, the more action in the market, the better these streams will be. I'll have a lot more to talk about, a lot more interesting insights. So let me know in the comments if you guys enjoyed this stream. And once again, just hit the like button. Started this channel about a month ago, and here we are. So like, subscribe, and yeah, join my Telegram. Keep an eye on X. But overall, I mean, things are looking pretty good here. As long as we don't get shot right back down, we might be seeing some more relief over the next week or two. We could hope so. 100K still that level to be watching here on Bitcoin. And other than that, not too much. Not too much else. Let's see if there was anything else in the order books here. I don't believe so. I guess the only thing I didn't cover here was the XRP order books. So if we look here, yeah, still about that 280 level, 290. Nothing really much here until then. You can see only about 1 million XRP. So this can send right back to about that 290, 280. But yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. And I'll be back next week with another stream. Thanks for all the questions, too. Sorry if I didn't get to your ticker. I'm just not someone who looks at a lot of these small coins. I focus on the top 50 to top 100. Because that's where in my opinion, that's where, as a trader, that's really where your attention should be. And if not, you should be looking at the really strong coins. You're looking at the really strong coins. So yeah, thanks again, guys. Thanks again, guys. I'll catch you guys